Wow. What do you think of that, Jeff?
I love the music. I love the authority of the countdown.
So much drama.
Yeah.
And that's what people can expect today from this edition of the original Drink and Draw Social Club that we've titled Unfinished Business, Pints and Pencil Shavings.
Unfinished business sounds ominous.
You know, it really does when it's put that way. But I didn't name it. Joe did. And speaking of unfinished business, doesn't seem like Joe is here. Dave's having a little bit of internet problems. But we're here, aren't we, Jeff?
So we should just vamp for a while until those guys figure it out?
We'll figure it out, hopefully.
Yeah.
What are you drinking there, pal?
I am drinking a delicious bottle of sake. Oops, here we go.
Wow. I like that.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Draft, no less.
It's good.
Yeah. Oh, drinky. What's the office, Jeff? It looks like you rearranged some stuff there.
I put some different art up on the walls and cleaned the place up a little bit, but pretty much the same. I like my little box.
The box you spend all your time in?
Yeah. I mean, if I were a monk, this would be my cell, right?
I guess so. You'd be slaving away, with your calligraphy,
right,
scripts and what have you.
I mean, in the olden days, I would definitely be a scribe. I would not have been a warrior.
No.
My vision's too bad.
Well, you might not be
never.
I
would not have been a.
Yeah. They just have you mopping the floors for the monk warrior.
Janitor, scribe. I could not have hit anything. I mean, I'm okay in close quarter combat, but if you, I would not have been able to hit a thing with a bow and arrow.
No.
I would not. That would have been no good.
Yeah, but like at the beginning of a battle, Jeff, like in the movies, and everybody. I hate to be those people that they're just like go forward, and then everybody just unleashes the arrows, just in a general direction, and they all come down on the poor fellows.
Yeah. So would you have been one of the people that the arrows came down on?
Probably, but I'm just saying, even with the shoddy vision, you could have been an initial arrow guy.
Right. So you're saying I could have been part of the mass of arrows that just flies through the air, so long as I just didn't have to hit a particular target.
No, you just go aim in this direction, and you're like, where? And you're like, there. And I don't,
up. Just aim up. Yeah, I can do that. I could definitely aim up.
Hey, guess who just popped in here?
Joe?
Everybody, I'd like to welcome a resident drink and drawer. I'm going to add him to the stream.
Fun.
Hi, Joe.
Hey, is that a resident drink and drawer or drink and drawer in residence?
Ooh,
I think
that second one sounds better. Yeah.
Nice, right?
Better.
Yeah. I like that.
Even Joe's lens is better than ours, Jeff.
Well, Joe's office in general is far superior to what we got going on.
The only thing I love Joe's office. The only thing I don't love is that countdown timer where I feel like the world is ending.
It kind of is.
I mean,
there's actually two of them up there. So
yeah. I think the world is always ending, Dan.
One is actually counting up, and one is actually counting down. So.
One day they'll meet.
Let's hope not.
What's that saying? Every hour wounds, the last one kills.
Ooh.
You never heard that?
I never heard that. Very poetic, though.
I'm not sure if it's a samurai thing or not.
So this is
what
we
people
talk a lot about
Dan, I think what people don't know, and they probably should know, is that all during the week we have we're texting each other.
Yeah.
And man, Ben isn't here, but boy, Ben's a smart dude. It's like so.
He definitely is. He's kind of the glue. He's the brains of the operation, 100%.
Well,
well, throwing in the hierarchy of needs out of nowhere, that was a surprise.
Did you notice, guys? And I could talk behind his back because he's not going to be showing up. A little cranky today.
Well, he's out saving the world and taking care of his family. What are you doing?
I went to Dick Blick. That's an art store out here.
It's a good art store.
I'm always bothered by that saying, talking behind somebody's back, because doesn't that mean you're just talking right in front of him?
We're basically, when he's watching this, we will be directly in front of him if he watches it. Ben's, like you were saying, Ben's a kind of an important guy. He does a lot of important things. I doubt he watches the episodes he's not on.
No. Well, I don't.
I mean, I don't watch the episodes I'm on.
I'll go back and review them and have to edit out things Dave said. You know, I have to,
Yeah, it's true.
trying to keep Dave saving his job, whatever employer he's working for.
Dave speaks from the heart. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. So, Joe, we mentioned that you came up with this title, Unfinished Business.
Yes.
And what sort of business are you going to be attending to today?
Well, I was inspired by last week where we were drawing Valkyrie, and Dave decided, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to finish something I started the week before. So,
Typical Dave.
Yeah. And I didn't finish my Valkyrie, so I figured I'd try to finish that today.
Perfect.
How about that? How about them apples? Huh?
Excellent.
I like those apples. It's good for fiber purposes. What's this, Jeff?
So where's Jeff? I mean, where's Dave?
Dave is supposedly having internet problems, but
Oh, the old internet problem excuse.
but yeah,
Right.
but I saw
Old internet problem excuse.
yeah, but I saw like on Facebook they have that little green dot next to your profile pic if you're online. So when I sent out the invite,
Right.
I saw that he was online, but to his credit, it could just be he's on his cell phone, with cellular data, just checking on things, trying to stay in touch with everybody.
Well, you could actually get onto this show through your cell phone, can't you?
It's true.
Yeah.
Dave lives right under a cell tower, which is why a lot of people have asked, is Dave, is Dave okay? He looks like he's been mutated a little bit. The 5G is coming alive. People are worried about that, and Dave is right under a 5G, transponder or whatever.
Does that give you cancer in the same way being under a power line does?
I don't know. Take a look at Dave if he gets online. Just examine him from a physical standpoint.
He's a mess.
To see if he has cancer?
Well, I mean, he could be mutating. Could be like a potential X-Men.
Well, that would be fun.
Be fun. Yeah, Dave would love that. Dave would actually, I don't think he'd mind.
I think he'd mind.
What would his superpower be?
Wow.
Jeez, that's a tough one for
I
Dave.
mean, we didn't ask him, like, he didn't really have a great answer for what would his superpower be when we asked him all those interview questions.
It's true. Not a lot of his answers were up to par.
I thought most of them were pretty satisfying.
They're kind of basic.
Yeah, well, none of us were terribly surprised by anything, Jeff.
That's true. But we all have known Dave for a while, so it's not going to be a lot of surprises.
No. So I'm drawing a little thing called Daughters of the Dragon.
Whoa.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
How's that unfinished business for you?
Well, unlike you two guys who are a little bit lazy, I finish my business each week on the show. So I already
start way ahead of time too, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, you do cheat.
Well, I mean, Jeff, look at Jeff. Jeff's already started.
This is unfinished business.
Well, yeah, so is this. It's unfinished. I have unfinished business, just like you do.
All right. Well, every time you say unfinished business, I feel a little threatened.
Well,
I don't like that.
yeah, you don't like that.
I don't like that. It makes me uncomfortable.
All right,
Here's my unfinished business. If you
let's take a look.
get around to it.
Let's share a screen let's just add this to the stream. Whoa.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. I like the additional armor pieces on her. It kind of.
Yeah, I'm gonna give her sort of this half cape, and then if I get around to it, I'll add a little horsey in the background.
Excellent.
Yeah, Jeff really went full horsey last time for what we were doing.
Yeah, I did. Horses are hard.
But you made short work of it, Jeff.
Well, I spent a lot of time trying to figure out where she would sit in front or behind the wings, and I went with putting a little saddle thing in front of the wings, even though
that's, you know what? I never considered that. I've never
traditionally people to have her sit behind the wings, but I always thought that was a little bit
gauche.
A little garish, if you will. And then
depends on where do those wings sit on the horse. That's the thing.
I mean, yeah, are they mid ribs? Are they shoulder muscles? But also, like if she's in front of them, that's probably better for combat.
I like that you thought that out, Jeff.
Well, unless the wings are used in defense.
I will say this about Jeff's wings, and I'm drawing a character called Colleen Wing right now, but they did look like if a horse could fly, those wings were big enough.
Right.
So I appreciated that.
Thanks, Dan.
The thought behind it. You put a lot of thought behind those wings.
I put too much thought behind everything.
Right. That horse was aerodynamic.
Yeah, exactly. No one should waste that much time thinking about the math of how big a horse's wing should be, but I will.
Well, what would the true wing ratio be really to get something like that aloft?
Well, I think if an eagle had,
what
was
the bumblebee, like it's that shouldn't fly technically,
right?
So maybe it doesn't matter.
Well, Dan, when's the last time you had a conversation with a bumblebee that you respected?
I had a conversation with a murder hornet.
Yeah. Dan's a little Dr. Doolittle. He talks to all the animals and the insects.
Yeah, remember last week I was telling you guys about how I had a conversation with a deer?
Yeah.
Yes, I remember.
You guys were so jealous.
No, we just didn't believe a word of it.
No. Well, I did.
I believe that Dan thinks he had a conversation with the deer.
No, I didn't.
I did. I can't wait to have Ron on so he gets so angry with me for mentioning
coming on. You know that,
the wolf. Right? It's true. He made up that whole story about getting burned.
Oh, that guy must have an incredible pain threshold.
He is always getting damaged.
Or very bad luck, one or the other.
Right. Either he can't stop it or doesn't notice he's been hurt.
Yeah. So you guys are probably wondering why Daughters of the Dragon.
No.
I mean, they're great characters.
Oh, boy.
Is it a commission for something?
No, it isn't, Jeff. Funny you should ask.
You just felt like drawing a couple of hot martial arts chicks?
Yeah. How about that?
Jeff, Dan doesn't sell his original art.
Never.
This will never be sold. This is for my private collection. I give these to Elena as gifts.
Wow.
Does she like Daughters of the Dragon?
I don't believe she knows who they are.
Does she like your art?
Sometimes. I mean, honestly, not all the time.
Isn't she sort of your harshest critic?
She is a tough critic, dude.
She's a pretty hard critic, Joe.
She's really hard to please.
She does not mess around with her commentary.
She's a Vassar girl, and
what does that mean?
She does not fool around.
My wife's a Vassar woman also, and one of the things they is drilled into them is trust but verify. Okay. So,
well, verified a little bit better before marrying me.
Right. Yeah, they didn't look that deep.
For either of us.
Oh yeah, mistakes were made. But yeah, no, there's definitely an academic quality to let's just say they're good at finding flaws.
Oh, they're excellent at that. Jeff, when she's ever like,
that's why they married their guys, because there's so many flaws.
Yeah, they never.
Yeah, I mean, it became a hobby for them.
Right.
So Jeff, when she's upset with you, which I imagine is often,
daily.
Yeah. Does she ever like blame Elena and I for introducing you?
No, she blames herself.
Because she should have known better.
She should have known better. She's smarter than that, and I tricked her.
She's a Vassar girl. She didn't know.
She's a Vassar girl. I tricked her.
Love it.
Yeah. Well, I can be relatively charming.
You were when we first started hanging out, and then you just kind of let it go.
Yeah, I get tired. It's tired. What's that thing? Ego fatigue? Isn't that one of the reasons that psychiatrists pick or psychologists pick a certain kind of person for a game show or for a reality show that they know is going to crack?
Do they really? It seems unfair.
Did you not know? You knew that, right? That every reality show has a trained psychologist in part of the selection process?
No, let's see.
See, I always thought that was just to make sure that these people were mentally healthy enough to.
Yeah, yes, they're healthy enough to participate, but damaged enough to lose their shit around episode 5.
Huh. Interesting.
Wow. So, have you guys ever been on a reality TV show, or I mean, not a reality, a game show?
I have not been on a game show.
I suspect Dan's going to tell us he was.
Yeah, Dan, you were on didn't you go out on a boat for a game show?
That was another reality show. That was a disaster.
Hmm.
All right, can I just show you guys the stuff that drives me crazy before we get into this dance story?
Please.
Okay. Yeah, please.
So you see, I'm drawing this cape here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
You guys see what's driving me crazy right now?
Where to bring? Oh yeah.
That goddamn tangent.
Yeah, you're gonna have to move that.
You gotta move it. Move it. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. You know.
It's true. Your eye goes right to it.
But you know what? It just shows you guys give a damn, which I appreciate.
Yeah. It's one of the things that's that I don't know about you, Joe, but I spend an inordinate amount of time working out all the angles and the shapes and everything in a drawing before I even start putting in any details.
Yep. I hear you. And the details are the fun part. So you really have
the details are the fun part, right? But I'm so tired usually by the time I'm done doing the math that I don't enjoy the details anymore.
I'm so tired as they. But yeah, it's just way too much math.
I think that's one of the nice things that I really enjoyed about you did on your morning show. You did a really great segment on storytelling.
Thanks for remembering the name, Jeff.
Well, I don't want to call it Cup of Joe.
Can't call it that.
The last time I did it, I got it wrong. I didn't want to get it wrong again.
Yeah. Well, I'll leave you to struggle with it until you figure it out.
Thank you. But you did a lot of really great stuff on storytelling and breaking down why you do this angle and why you show stuff moving from left to right. I really appreciated that.
But not enough to remember the show title.
Well,
I mean, I'm just trying to clarify, Jeff.
Right. Well, I mean, I keep saying the wrong one. In my head, it's the wrong one.
Yeah. Well, someday you'll get it right, Jeff. Someday.
I'm not holding my breath.
This is why we're not close friends. We're show business friends.
Yeah, we're TV friends.
Eventually there'll be a lawsuit, and everyone's like, "Wait a minute, they're such good friends."
Yeah.
How
So
could
how's
that
everybody's
be?
week?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty quiet. Sitting around. No new disasters at the Johnson household.
Nice.
Not like Ben.
Well, it seems like Ben's been having a rough time.
Yeah. Well, I call that karma.
I think anybody who's a fan of Ben, they should send him
Yeah, try being Ben's friend.
well wishes on Twitter.
Yeah, it's not exactly
really cranky.
Yeah.
Well, he's on the front lines of a lot of this silliness. Is it 2 daughters, 1 daughter, and a son?
2 daughters.
2 daughters and a son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I imagine that there's a lot of questions going on about parenting. Yeah, I'm so glad I'm not a parent. I'm gonna get a new puppy, and I'm a little anxious about that.
Sure.
I mean, by the way, those pictures were adorable.
It's a cute dog.
It's a cute damn puppy. You don't deserve that dog, Dan.
Oh no, it's mostly for Megan. No, I don't deserve that dog at all.
It's a cute dog, man. So
the dream is,
and I like the name.
Yeah, Gadget's a good name.
Because you know what Dan would have called that dog, right?
Conan, Rosetta, Elite,
something like Whiskey. You call it
Whiskey. I had a cat named Frazetta.
Okay.
And sadly, don't have it anymore.
What did you do to Frazetta?
A little story that nobody likes to hear.
You got to tell that story. I mean, it's about time you tell that story.
No, that just makes me look bad as per usual.
For that story.
It's an awful story.
It's a sad. It's not the story of a good pet owner, that's for sure.
No.
Dan, you're getting a new pet, right? Aren't you getting a miniature wolf?
I'm getting a miniature wolf from Ron's mother. No.
That would actually be really funny.
Yeah. Dan, how could you do it? No, it's called a Klekai, Jeff. It's it's quite a beast.
How big is it?
Why do we have to go there?
I'm just curious. How quite a beast is it?
All right, it's not quite a beast at all if you're going to get down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a tiny. It's like we want to be able to travel with it. So.
Right. Where are you going to travel with that thing? Seriously.
Nueva York.
Where do you got to go right now?
Not right now, nowhere. But hopefully, his dog. Those dogs live for like 14 years or something.
Some of them do, yeah, especially the tiny ones.
Yeah, this is a tiny one. Yeah.
Especially miniature wolves, they live forever.
Yeah, those things are hardy.
They're awful.
Yeah,
those miniature wolves. Well, you're in for it, Dan.
I'm going to be doing all. They're like, oh no, we can't wait. We can't wait to take care of it. And we all know that I'll be friggin' taking care of this dog the entire time.
Yep.
Well, teach you tricks.
You teach it tricks. I don't care. I don't care if it rolls over. I don't care if it plays dead or it looks at me all squirrely.
You're gonna fall in love with it, Dan.
You're gonna love this dog. And you're gonna teach you tricks.
The best part about it is you're gonna try to get this dog to talk to you.
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Yeah. Just gonna ignore you.
What do I look like? A stupid wolf?
Yeah.
Stupid to you?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a dumb wolf.
Yeah, I'll have a dumb wolf pet.
But I honestly don't think you're getting it.
We'll
Eventually, he'll get it, Joe.
You think so?
Well, Elena's very particular. So I imagine she's really kind of vetting this dog.
Do you guys have a breeder you're going to? Doing that whole thing?
Yeah, nobody's giving this dog away for free. So yeah, we have to go to a breeder and all that. It's not like a mutt, Jeff.
You could just go into the woods and talk to one of your wolf friends.
Right. You could woo a wolf from the distance.
Yeah, I can just go, any leftovers, guys?
Yeah. Joe, you're a dog person, right?
I sure am.
Do you teach your dogs? Have you done the trick thing? Have you done the training stuff?
Yeah, I've done. Yeah, but I mean, not tricks, but yeah, obedience and stuff like that.
Obedience.
Absolutely. But I've had Labradors that I absolutely love, and then because my daughter thought they were cute, we ended up getting a chug, which sounds a lot tougher than it is. A Chihuahua pug.
Oh, it sounds friendly.
Yeah, it's a cute dog, but this thing is so aggressive with other dogs. Can't really go for a walk with it without without it wanting to attack everything in its surroundings, and she just gets her ass kicked because she's not that big,
Right.
So it's always her that ends up getting hurt, but cute dog, big old bug eyes, the whole thing, So anyway.
Joe, do you mind if I ask you a question about your drawing?
Oh boy.
Just because I noticed that her little circle things, you added the extra two, which is very Thor-like, which I think is cool. I mentioned
that already, Jeff, by the way.
I know you did. But I just like the highlights on the concentric circles. I have real trouble making stuff look like metal. Do you have a trick to that?
No, I just work the hell out of them. You know what I mean? I just find a reflection point, and then for example, when I was working, you'll notice that I've got these. I start working in layers. So hang on a second. The concentric circles are actually on layers.
Gotcha.
So I work them out to the shape of the body so that they look proper. But anyway, so what I end up doing is just working them, and because they're on a layer, for example, let's see here. Make sure I'm doing this right. So originally, this was sort of blackened in here, and I was losing sort of the shape of it. So I started opening up a few areas, just adding some highlights.
Oh, I got you.
This was all blackened in at one point, like So,
Mm.
and again, I wanted to get, and I mean, that works on its own as well. But then I'm, thinking, that might actually give it more metallic feel. So, I don't know.
What I like the reflected light feel of it.
Thank you. And then on these metal bits, I had these sort of little scratchy highlights to make them look sort of battle worn.
I like those things too.
Okay.
I like that. Cool. Dan, do you have a trick for doing metal when you ink? I know you're really great at textures. Do you have something that you think about while you're doing it?
I always think about. I kind of use the Wally Wood method.
What's that? Ooh.
Yeah.
If you ever seen Wally Wood do metal, I mean,
I've never seen Wally do anything, but okay.
I used to be Wally's assistant years ago, so I had to. Okay, that's true. I never did, but I would have liked to have been his assistant.
Sure.
Yeah, once people realize that you're a liar about things, it's very easy to spot your lies. You're actually pretty terrible at it.
Well, it doesn't help with the people I have to go with.
The reason people fall for it, because they don't assume that you're a liar. But once they know, it's just like, oh, Dan's just lying again, right? I mean,
it's like the boy who cried wolf.
Yeah,
the boy who talked to wolves.
The boy you could write talking to wolves.
The boy that supposedly talks to wolves.
Yeah, I mean that's a lesser known story, but I think it applies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But seriously,
okay.
Do you have a technique?
No, I just try to think about metal and reflections, and I used to. I remember Neil Adams told me once. He goes, "Well, look at." I had drawn some hubcap, and he just said, "Have you ever seen a hubcap?" And he had some magazine lying around, some automotive magazine, and just the way it does a reverse, because they're concave in many ways, like those old-fashioned hubcaps, the moon shaped ones, and how basically they basically flip the horizon upside down. And he said, now this is like an approximation of what's happening on the ground, but on the other side. So if there's a mountain behind it or a street or lamps, he goes, and it just all kind of made sense. But not everybody was taught by Neil Adams like me. So.
Yeah. So, but just to break that down in a simple thing, is someone might be able to apply to their own work. Mm-hmm. Think of not as convex, but as concave, and that it flips the horizon. So what you're seeing in the reflection is going to be inverted if you're trying to throw in a more realistic looking metal hubcap.
Yeah. And if that hubcap happens to be like a moon pie.
It happens to be, yeah.
So my advice only applies to concave metal shapes.
Right.
That's specific. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So here's a question actually for you guys. I bet you Dan either knows the answer or he'll lie about the answer.
Okay.
One of the two.
That's fair.
So I'm actually working on a cover piece, and I've only gotten a rough sketch done, right? So I'll give you I'll doodle on here the basic gist of it without putting in the character or giving it away. So let's say there's a building here in the foreground, right? And this building is a glass building,
mm-hmm.
right? So highly reflective, and we're looking at it, straight on. Now behind this building are other buildings that are going back in perspective, right?
Right.
With that perspective, okay. So they're going back here. I've never drawn this shot, and I never had to consider it, right? So taller buildings here. Right. Okay. So that's what's in the background, and this is our foreground building, right? In this reflective area, the buildings that are in front of this building, do they fall back into the same perspective as these?
Oh, that's a really interesting question. I think they do, depending on where your vanishing point is.
Yeah, I would think if your vanishing point is here, right?
Yeah.
I would think that the buildings that are reflected, they would have that same perspective point. I don't know.
Are you guys done? Are you guys done? Because I'll tell you what it is.
I think I'm going to say yes. They would have the same. They would have the inverted version of that perspective.
So what you're saying is it would be take these shots and invert them, and find that doesn't feel right.
Like that feels wrong, Jeff. Like everything you stand for, and your
No,
politics, and your politics.
and my politics. Yeah, I mean, no, you still have. Yeah, it's tricky because it's not the same. Because the reflection is going to be a different line than the actual building. So the perspective might be different. But I haven't drawn that. I've never drawn that angle.
Yeah, I'm actually going to have to hold up things against the mirror to see how it works. But
I always have trouble. I'm the last guy to ask on something like that. I always have trouble when you're on a rooftop and you're looking down, and then you're seeing the city from a different vantage point like that, and I'm always like, oh God, this is tough.
What do you mean, like if you're on a precipice here like that?
Yeah, and then you want to, or even a little bit more eye level.
Hang on.
But yeah, it always gives me trouble, and I always sit there and I always remember my dad would always say.
You mean like if so you're on the rooftop, character sitting.
You're on the rooftop, and or you're even inside a building, and you're looking out the window, so you have the perspective of that plane inside the house or the apartment.
Let's say here's a guy sitting on a chair, right? He's in an office, and these are the tall buildings, right? That's what you're saying, Dan?
Yeah, and now we got to look outside too.
I mean, it should. If this is, let's say, these are your perspectives. Let's say your horizon line. Hell, your horizon line is somewhere up here, right? So it should just follow the same perspective as everything on the interior, correct?
Technically, yeah, but then sometimes it just doesn't look right.
That's because you're not doing it right.
No, that's probably why right there. Perfect reason.
If you had a building in front here, and let's see, I guess your horizon line is actually higher. It's from here, right? So then this building would be sitting somewhere here. Yeah, it doesn't look right.
That's the whole problem. And so my dad would just say, you know what, son, sometimes, and this is probably why I lie as much as I do, because sometimes you got to fake it.
Yeah, definitely faking it is the way to go.
You know what it is? Usually, you just need a horizon point that's so far off the page. The vanishing point is so far off the page that it's it's the only way it's going to work. But you know who makes those shots look really, really great?
I do.
John Romita Jr.
He does. So did George Perez, but John Romita really brought that.
But have you noticed John Romita only uses 1 point perspective all the time?
I never noticed that. Now I'm gonna have to go back and
he's a master of 1 point. Very rarely does he use 2 point, but yet you believe it's 2 point. And he does these great cityscapes, and it's all 1 point.
Wow.
Yep.
That's pretty smart.
John Romita. Junior. Talk about Junior.
Junior.
Yeah.
I mean, Senior's smart too, but Junior's the man.
Dan, do you remember when I did that? When I was into Escher doing Wonder Man, and I did that.
Yeah. Oh, what a nightmare! I hated you.
I did a version of Hell that was basically an Escher, a multi-dimensional staircase thing, and I curved and bent the perspective, and I made it all bricks that linked together that later on fell apart as Wonder Man fought the Executioner.
Such a nightmare to ink.
I'm such a dick move. Oh, it was such an asshole thing to do.
Well, I had to ink it.
Oh, I would have loved to see Dan's face when he opened up the box.
Jeff, I've never been inspired by Escher. I mean, I like his work. I was just never inspired by him. But I can only imagine that's a phase that's usually short-lived in a lot of artists.
Every artist has those books. They have so many of them,
Yeah. Oh, well, I was always been very fascinated with the perspective and the math of storytelling. Like in animation, we do this thing called a banana pan. In 2D animation, it looks like, I'm sure you know what it is, Joe. Like
No, I don't.
I'm sure. Yeah. So And I loved figuring out the perspective of having the camera pan past that drawing to make it look 3D.
I see. Okay.
But it always took, I mean, it always took forever, but always looked really great.
Well, I hated backgrounds when I was inking, and then now that I pencil more, man, I actually like them. I actually like them quite a bit. I always thought that those were the kind of comics that you really could like lose yourself in, and I know that for a long time, you know, there was almost no backgrounds in comics practically, but now I think that stuff is making a comeback, and creating that experience for readers is kind of, I don't know, it's really integral.
Well, it's you know it's part of the it's as much as it's as important as drawing a character, you know, and adding characterization. I mean, you know, building those worlds and stuff is just
Certainly like Daredevil. Like I remember Frank Miller, and I think you've even said in interviews, like that's New York is a character just like Matt Murdock.
yeah. And
Absolutely.
the thing is that New York does not exist. I mean,
No, that version of Hell's Kitchen, I think, was around kind of the late '80s. Chelsea was like that too,
yeah,
where
I mean, Hell's Kitchen. Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, in the '80s, I lived in Hell's Kitchen for about a year, and it was saucy, you know. Definitely had to watch yourself. But it was in the '70s. Now that's when it was really Hell's Kitchen.
yeah, I think that's the kind of Frank Miller's kind of weird version we see often.
It's not weird.
Well,
It's just
scary. How's that?
scary. Yeah, it's noirish. Um, yeah, so there you go. Well, you guys really have nothing to say without Dave around.
Well, I like to pick on Dave, and if I'm not picking on him, I like to kind of pick on Jeff a little bit. But Jeff, you know, I need him now. So
Right. Well, one of the so talking about backgrounds, one of the first jobs, actually, the very first job I had in animation was I took over for Dave on Justice League Unlimited as the background artist, and that was I had always really been pretty dedicated to my backgrounds, but actually doing it just as my sole job was super educational, and I think that everyone should probably, I mean, I don't know if everyone has time, but like just focusing on one thing, just doing specific training really helped me understand my backgrounds better. So now that I'm back doing comics, I have a much better sense of how to make the background a character, how to make the background serve the story in a way I just didn't get when I was drawing comics.
Right. Hey Jeff, when you were doing animation backgrounds solely, you know, like you know, backgrounds are a pain in the ass. They, you know, no doubt, they're fun when when you nail them and they're done and stuff, but they're a huge pain in the ass. So, and I wonder, are they as much of a pain in the ass when you know you don't have to worry about drawing the figures, working on any anatomy and getting that into that world? Does it
When you
become
just have to focus on only the background, Joe, it becomes it's the best job.
that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's way less emotionally taxing than when you're trying to add the character in and the storytelling in and all that stuff. It's just the math. It's just the perspective. Yeah, that was my favorite. I think that was one of my favorite jobs in animation, was just doing backgrounds on that show.
That's cool.
was that the only show you did backgrounds on?
No, I did backgrounds. I started off as I did Justice League Unlimited as a background guy, and then I moved over to the Boondocks, and I did backgrounds there before I became the character artist.
Oh,
But that was even different, because on Justice League it was, here's a spaceship, here's a secret villain base, that kind of stuff. For Boondocks, it was just, here's a house, here's a mall, here's all this really boring pedestrian stuff, which I actually found to be much harder to draw.
I love drawing that stuff.
Yeah,
me too.
Just like a mall. Oh my god.
Yeah,
I love it.
A mall? I don't know if I'd like drawing a mall, but
yeah, but you know what it is, Dan? If like you draw that mall and you nail it and it feels organic and it feels like, it's such a great feeling.
Actually, you did a great job. I saw you. Joe had sent me, and he probably can't pull it up, but he drew like a mini mart, and I
Yeah, I
thought that
posted
came
that
out
thing.
like amazing. You also put a little ode to Drink and Draw in there.
Well, excellent.
Yeah,
Um,
let me see if I can find it. Give me
yeah,
a
maybe
second.
you could just show that particular panel or something because it was.
Well, that's what I did. I think I shared it on.
Oh yeah, maybe you already did share it with us once before, but it was pretty neat
Hang on.
because it definitely like you saw that and you're like, oh, I've been there. I know that place, and
Yeah.
that's
I
that.
think backgrounds are satisfying because if you make it sing, then it just serves the story so well, and it really grounds the drawing and makes people feel invited into the world.
Also, you don't have to repeat it either. Like, you can be done almost with the background, drawing it ever again,
Right.
which a lot of people like their mind will fill it in. It'll already exist now because of that.
So, you know, I didn't
This
find
is fun.
Let's see. Actually, I like this for that, Dave.
Dan, I don't know if I ever told you, when I was working on Way of the Rat, those last few issues, I was trying out a thing where I did backgrounds on separate layers
Mm-hmm.
so that we could use them again. And the dream was to have this is the palace, this is this person's bedroom, this is the outside of the castle, and then be able to just
Almost
put
like
the
like animation.
exactly like animation. That was the goal.
I did something I remember when computer coloring was kind of just starting to take over, and I knew that we could do a lot more with the computer coloring because of the color holds, and I always wanted at
Yeah, Dan, I texted it to you.
oh, okay, cool. Oh, you texted it? I wish you could have. It'll take me a little bit to get it to the. Oh yeah, that's so cool. All right, I'm going to send that to.
You got to send it somewhere? Jesus.
So, Joe, speaking of like backgrounds and stuff, you have fantastic figure work, and your storytelling is incredibly solid and thoughtful. Like, did you train specifically to learn how to do the different aspects of the job?
No, not in that sense. I mean, I when I was in college, you know, I did take some storyboarding classes, but it was for commercial storyboarding, literally like, you know, commercials. But that was incredible training, you know, to learn, because, you know, you learn the absolute basics, not thinking that I ever applied it to comics because I didn't want to be in comics at that time. But then, you know, I've always wanted to be in film. So they're the same rules. There's really no difference. Same rules in film and in animation.
Totally.
That I was surprised, you know, that a lot of artists don't know when they come into the industry. But there's a lot of things I didn't know either, you know, and I remember Barry Smith sitting me down. You see, Dan, you had Neil Adams, I had Barry Smith.
Oh,
I didn't work for Barry, but he did sit me down. And he's like, come here, you're doing it all wrong. And it was so incredibly helpful to learn, you know, like he just said a few simple things, but sometimes just those things are the things that you go, oh, okay, I see the
Right.
light, you know. So, but yeah.
yeah.
So Dave still having internet problems, or by the way, if anybody sees Dave on social,
Yeah, definitely give him a hard time.
He's missing an educational show. Well, Dave wouldn't like the sharing of the secrets.
Yeah.
He's not even looking at the comments.
No, Dave hates comics.
No, I'm talking about you, Dan. You're not even looking at the comments. The people who are on.
Oh, the comments. Sorry.
God, you're horrible.
You know, I'm lost in my little Daughters of the Dragon nonsense over here.
I about Ricky Santana.
I got some unfinished business.
Definitely some unfinished business.
Ricky Santana from Costa Rica is on here.
Too many bricks, someone says.
Too many bricks.
Yeah.
Jimmy was on.
Jimmy was on? We missed that?
Jimmy got on to tell us Dave cannot get on. He just spoke to him.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Well, it's good to have a network. Hey, Dan, do you have, apart from Joe's drawing, do you have that new thing you came up with for Ravens? Library scene.
Oh, that crazy library. Yeah, maybe I
Yeah.
can put that up there. That's definitely 1 point perspective. It's called Straight Lines in Books.
But it has so much character. I mean, you really get the feeling of that as a legitimate space where that person lives.
Have you guys ever heard of Pop Kill while I'm looking for this?
Oh, yeah. Dave Johnson and Jim Palmiotti's Pop Kill. Who has not heard of it at this point? That's what I
Yeah.
love. If you haven't, then what the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah. Yeah. What is wrong with you? That makes me angry.
I know people have been asking me that question for years.
Yeah.
That and why did I do that to Spider-Man?
Here's that thing from Raven.
Oh, I do love that. I love the hot and the cold colors you used.
Thanks. I wanted to look kind of timeless and old school, like that early illustration.
Those hands are kind of creepy, though, man. Are they meant to be creepy?
Yeah, it's a creepy old man named Milton.
Milton.
Yeah.
Milton is super creepy.
Milton is. I mean, anybody named. You want to see something that's not creepy? Pop Kill. Speaking of Pop Kill, it's Dave and Jimmy's latest Kickstarter. But no, I didn't mention that the link is actually in the video description.
That's cool.
Yeah, the first issue is amazing, and the second one make its its numbers, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I got my my Pop Kill in there. I got my issue here. Here's my Pop Kill, signed by Jimmy, not by Dave.
Nice.
Yeah. You know how Dave gets.
Dave doesn't like signing things. Oh, here it is. Here's some backgrounds for you, Jeff, if you're interested.
Oh, I am interested.
Yeah.
Those are fantastic.
Yeah, a little overkill.
Everyone's favorite thing. I've actually drawn a shopping cart before for a Jimmy Palmiotti story.
Oof.
Oh,
That drawing that was the worst, the hardest thing.
Yeah, it was painful.
I mean, not Jimmy's story. I mean the
yeah.
Why? Because it was a DC book? Is that what bothers you?
What background thing do you guys think is? I would say shopping cart, chain link fence are a pain in the ass.
Yeah. But
What would you throw in there?
They're a lot easier when you use Speedwolf nibs.
Speedwolf makes everything good.
Yeah, I mean it almost draws itself a little bit.
Speedwolf nibs, Dan. What are Speedwolf nibs?
Speedwolf nibs are Dave Johnson's awesome company where he actually started. He got so sick and tired of inking with a Hunt 102 crow quill that he was like, I'm going to manufacture my own nibs.
And what didn't he use? Tungsten?
He uses tungsten.
Yeah.
I've been using Hunt crow quills all my life. Should I switch to
Speedwolf nibs? Hard to find. A little bit difficult to find.
But they last.
Are they sold out?
I think they're sold out. Dave's going to have to make another batch. He's a little stingy with them.
Well, tungsten's not easy to find nowadays.
No, and plus, especially the places Dave's looking.
Right. Outside in his backyard. He hasn't really done the research.
Yeah.
Poor Dave. He's not even here to defend himself.
I know he's not.
Which is great.
How do I keep doing this? I keep removing this, putting it in. Add
Quickie Mart? You didn't show the Quickie Mart one.
I don't think that one came through.
What are you talking about? I sent that to you. It was the first one I sent.
Send it in a text.
You sent it a text. Can you send it to my email, Joe? Would it kill you?
All right. You want it to email? Hold on a second.
Wouldn't mind it in an email.
What's the difference?
Well, because then it's directly on my computer and I can upload it quicker. Texting it, I have to take that text, send it to.
I had my iMessage up, so just assume that you were doing the same.
I mean, I know nobody cares about me, but I'm kind of important. I'm kind of a big deal.
Super big deal.
Yeah.
Pandemic.
Yes, I forgot. That's your new name.
What was that?
Pandemic.
Pandemic. Oh yeah, that's a good name.
All right.
Danny Pandemic.
Off it lines. Dan likes this background because
Well, I like that background because I have a big ego, and I'm part of the background.
So Dan, you'd be perfect for one of these reality shows.
I would be. I was on I have been on reality shows. I've been on 2 reality shows, but I haven't been on a game show yet. Oh, here it is.
You've not been on a game show, but you've been on 2 reality shows. What were the reality shows?
Overhauling and what is it? Steve Strope's show. It's yeah, I'm trying to remember which network. I think it was on Motor Trend. Has their own.
Wait, Steve who?
Steve Strope. He's like Jay Leno's mechanic. He's worked on Joe Rogan's car. Look at that. Dan's Quickie Mart. And growing up, my parents had a Gremlin.
Did they?
Yeah.
I remember the Gremlins.
Baby, drink and draws on there, and it says Coke and baby oil for sale, sold here.
Nice.
So sad.
It's like your entire life summed up in one panel.
Yeah, Dan's Quickie Mart. Angry Dan's Quickie Mart.
And Angry Dan's.
And charging station. I see all the that would be a big you should see more of those. That would be
I love that you were able to actually get a Dan likeness.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
An Angry Dan, like that's not tough to achieve.
No,
that's true.
Yeah. Plenty of reference on that.
All you need is like a little. Me doing my Facebook update usually is I'm pretty upset most of the time.
Well, just about every photo I found of you for references, you'd be upset.
Yeah.
Dan only smiles when he has tricked someone into believing one of his fibs.
His incredible eyes.
Dan, weren't you on another reality show that was on a boat?
That never made it to fruition.
Oh, okay.
Why are you on so many reality shows then?
Some people like me, Joe.
What I'm saying
because
is that like
they know he's going to lose his shit.
Here's me on the way to that reality show. It's quite a photo.
Let's see what you got.
Let's see. I've been working out a little bit. Hold on. I gotta. The kids are coming home. Kids. Even my wife, I consider her to be one of the kids.
Okay, I was gonna say, did you have one where you weren't paying attention?
Yeah, COVID. You're at home a lot, bored.
Corona baby.
Virus. Let's see. I believe Jeff's wife actually took this picture because she was going to be on this reality show herself. Let's see. Of course, it doesn't help that it's not on here.
I've never been asked to be on a reality show. I'm very depressed now.
Yeah, neither have I.
Joe, you're on all sorts of TV shows. Every time my kid is watching a Disney or a Marvel show, I see your name pop up and it makes me upset.
Yay, Joe.
I get very jealous. No, it's pretty cool. And I go, I know that person. And he doesn't believe me because I constantly lie to him too.
Because that show sucked. Of course you do.
I hate that show. Maybe this is all in my mind. Maybe I'm starting to believe my own lies.
I don't know, but whatever you're showing on the screen with my, you have that image on the screen. You got my,
drawing. This is becoming a Joe show.
It's like visually, this show sucks. Right?
There's a lot of stuff happening.
Dan has lost control. This is why Ben is important.
I miss Ben. That's for damn sure.
Ben could handle it.
Ben gives us the semblance of professionalism.
All right, here's me on the boat, on the way to the boat.
You look like you're expecting a problem.
They brought me on board specifically to, I don't know why, to drink beer.
You look a little puffy there.
Yeah. A lot of creatine must be happening.
Protein.
Oh, creatine.
Christaki,
well, guys,
Yeah, is it about time?
I was gonna say we have blown through an hour of just chit chatting and drawing. It's been a joy.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And I'm still not finished.
I know we still have unfinished business.
All right, I have a little bit unfinished business, but I'm going to finish this business. I'm going to post it like I like to do on social networks.
Right.
Did we miss Dave? Not particularly. Did we miss Ben? Yes.
Yes, I mean I missed them both, but I think Ben could have saved this episode.
Could he though?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, yeah, I think yes. I think we agree that yes.
All right, let's take one last look at Jeff's drawing here.
There you go.
Oh,
Looking good.
crazy.
There's a little monster based on a botfly.
Looks like it wouldn't have problems with digestion by the time whatever gets down its gullet. It's been properly emulsified.
It's been well chewed, that's for sure.
Yeah. There's Joe in his glorious office. The countdown to death happening.
Dappled sunlight, which is very nice.
And it's still unfinished.
It's not finished, but look, I mean, come on.
It is coming
At
along.
least I care.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
So eventually she'll be done.
All right, gentlemen. I guess this is it. This is goodbye until next week. Hopefully Dave and maybe Ben will be back for us. We need him desperately.
Do you guys want to do another unfinished business episode, or maybe have the fans pick a subject?
Actually, you know what? We have a special subject next week. It's actually a special treat, which will, if you're following Drink and Draw on Twitter, we'll announce it there, and also on Facebook. We have a Facebook group, and of course, you guys will be announcing it as well. But there's a very fun special project where we're legitimately going to be.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You're going. What is he talking about?
Oh, excellent.
Well, once I'm not lying, it's actually a fun thing that we'll see print. All of us individually will be working on things. You'll get to see our process. You'll get to see our thumbnails and why we chose what we chose, and then of course the following week we'll be coloring them ideally. So it'll be pretty interesting.
Right on.
All right.
Exciting.
All right.
Wow.
Well, everyone, gang,
Toodaloo.
here's to Ben, and here's to Dave.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Down the hatch.
I will see you guys next week. It was good hanging out.
It was Jeff.
As always.
See you and Jeff. Hold on. But if I could just find this end broadcast. There we go. End.